Welcome back to class. In today's class, we're going to focus on our drishti throughout the practice, which is our yogic gaze. Sometimes our vision can mislead us. Did you ever judge a book by its cover sometimes? Well, when we practice drishti, we want to practice keeping the eyes open, but letting go of the focus on the external world so that we can really look in and enhance the senses inward. So in order to do that, we're going to practice either just looking over the tip of the nose, or if that makes you go a little dizzy, then we'll practice this. Open the eyes all the way, close the eyes, and then go halfway. And that's your drishti. That's the yogic gaze. When you're practicing the drishti, instead of focusing, staring, you're allowing yourself to take the whole 180 degrees around you. I kind of like the half open. So let's try that for our seated meditation today. Open eyes big, close eyes, and then just go half open. And see if you can now integrate what we've practiced in the past, sensing first the sensation of the air on the skin, then going from the external, going inward to sense the inner body, and then to feel the breath. It might be more challenging to do it with eyes open, or you might feel more comfortable. Now let's come down to lie on the back. And we're going to take the legs into Baddha Konasana position to open up the inner legs. Then stretch your arms up, hook your hands. As you exhale, connect your rib cage down towards your pelvis. Pelvis is in its neutral position. Actively reach as if you're reaching the sit bones out of the lower back to stabilize the pelvis. And stabilize the rib cage with your strong abs. As you inhale, stretch the arms back without the front of the rib cage lifting up towards your arms. And then bring your arms back up. As you inhale, reach back. And see if you can breathe into your side and back ribs more to improve the movement, encouraging a full diaphragmatic breath, 360 degrees into the room. And as you exhale, bring the arms back up. One more time, stretching out the in-breath. Arms come back up as you exhale. And bring the knees up. And now bring your legs into tabletop position. And practicing the same ribcage and pelvis stabilization. Take the arms up and reach your right leg forward and lower it halfway. Keep your buttocks reaching out of your lower back, pubic bone towards your heart. Reach your left arm back, maintaining the rib cage. Change sides. Left leg forward and down. Keeping your pubic bone towards your heart. And you reach your right arm back, keeping your rib reaching down towards your hip. Now change sides simultaneously. Back up. Change sides. This is a great exercise to mobilize the hips and shoulders while strengthening your core. One of the most important core strengthening exercises, in my opinion. As you get stronger and more mobile, you might be able to reach all the way towards the ground. Now hug your knees towards your chest. Let your back spread and release. Tuck into a ball now, arms forward, ribs knit in. Reach right leg forward, chain, chain. Keeping ribs reaching down. Hug both knees in. And if rolling up and down feels good on your spine, if you have a thick enough mat, you can do that. Otherwise, just hug your knees here. And then make your way up to seat. All right. Come into extended child's pose. Now from child's pose, depending on the health of your spine, you might be able to come up and bring your hips towards your wrist. The deeper you go, the more spinal extension it will require. Reach the buttocks out of the lower back and open up the chest. And then as you exhale, stretch back. So don't force that movement, just feel what you should do instead of what you can do. And let's roll forward and back 3 times. Then come back up onto the hands and the knees. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Bend your right knee as you stretch your left heel down towards the ground. Change legs. Alternating now. And let's warm up the hip, either from hands and knees position, or if you have the upper body strength, from down dog, raise your right leg up behind you and inhale. Exhale, bring knee to right armpit. Inhale, stretch back up. Exhale to your left. Inhale, stretch back up. And exhale, step your foot up to your thumb. As you inhale, reach your heart forward. And as you exhale, stretch the right leg towards straight. You can use blocks if it's difficult, or a chair in front of you. Inhale to bend your knee. And exhale to stretch towards straight. One more time. Inhale into the lunge. And exhale, stretch back. Plant your hands. Bend your knee, step to plank pose. Now in plank, reach the buttocks down towards the heels. Draw the ribs in and away from the floor and press into the floor. Reach through your shoulder blades. Then, maintaining your core, pelvis and ribcage connection, retract your shoulder blades, draw them towards each other. And then spread them and push away. Really important that we learn to do that movement. Let's try it with the knees down now to make it a little easier. Maintaining the rib cage position, retract blades, and then push. Maintaining the push, see if you can do it just as well in plank. And then reach from your blades into your hands to go back to down dog. Raise your left leg up. It makes it a lot harder. Jeez, you can't just hang into it. Glide into plank and bring your knee up. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale to your right armpit. Inhale, back up. Bring your knee to your chest and step up to your thumb. As you inhale, reach in the lunge. And as you exhale, stretch the left leg towards straight. Bend knee and inhale. Exhale, stretch back. Last one, bend knee and inhale. Exhale, glide back and hold. Step into plank position. Do the press through the shoulder blades position, the protracted position. Then with legs straight or knees down, your call, you'll slowly lower. And as you lower, the shoulder blades will glide along the rib cage, but you still keep the integrity of the pelvis and the ribs. Lower the heart down and inhale into cobra position. Now reach your arms back behind you. And as we strengthen the backs of the shoulders in this position, lift the hands away from the ground. Hold for 3. Press the feet down. 2. Reach the heart forward. 1. Lower your heart. Slide the hands next to your chest. And turn the fingers to point forward. Press up. Onto hands and knees or straight up into plank, depending on your situation, what you should do, depending on the health of your wrists and shoulders. Glide back into down dog. Good job. Now walk your hands back to your feet if possible. And then we're going to practice a little hamstring and hip mobilization. If your knees and ankles are healthy enough to, you're going to lower the buttocks down low. How low? That depends on what you should do for your knees and ankles. Then stretch your legs towards straight. Bend your knees and lower to what's appropriate for you. And then stretch the legs towards straight. For many, it might look like this. And then straighten. For some, it might look like this, and that's okay. And straighten. Now with the feet, hip socket distance apart, bring hands behind your head, roll yourself up, head and neck less into coming up. Good. Open your heart, open your elbows. And release. Bring your arms down at your side. Inhale, raise your arms up. And as you exhale, spread the arms and fold forward. Walk your hands out. Come into downward facing dog. Good. Then from downward facing dog, shift to plank pose. And holding here in plank or on your hands and knees, lift your right leg up an inch. I'm going to show with the knee down for the people who might need to modify. Open your leg out to the side, tap down, lift back up, and then come back to center. A little core strengthening. Bring the leg back down. Change legs, reach the leg back, lift up an inch, out to the side, tap down, back to center, good, and then stretch back to downward facing dog. One hand at a time, walk hands back to feet. Roll yourself up. Mountain pose. Good. Now turn to your side and take the legs wide apart. As you inhale, roll your chest open. And as you exhale, fold forward in between your legs. Inhale, come up onto fingertips. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Walk the hands back, let your head drop. Feel the inner legs open, the hamstring stretching. And focus on reaching down into 3 points in your foot. The heel, the big toe mound, and the little toe mound. Heel, big toe mound, little toe mound. Eyes soft. Reconnect to your drishti as you come up halfway. Hands to hips, come back up. Find your yogic gaze and notice the effect it has. Turn your right leg out, pick your back foot up and turn it in more than halfway. So this is a balance challenge. Using the drishti, bring your knuckles together behind your back. Inhale, roll your heart open, chest open. And as you exhale, lean forward halfway out over your leg. Balance across those 3 points in both of your feet. Maintain your drishti as you lengthen, go forward and down out over your leg. For 3, 2, 1. Press into your foot and inhale, come up halfway. Hold here, or to make it more challenging, reach the arms back just like we did on the belly. And feel the backs of the shoulders strong and engaged. For 3, 2, 1. Hands to hips. Press from your buttocks into your back heel to bring yourself upright. Turn so your feet are parallel again. Find your drishti. Turn your legs the other way. Back foot turns in a little more than halfway. Knuckles together behind the back. Roll heart open and inhale. And as you exhale, lengthen out over your leg halfway. Pause. And then all the way out over your leg. Practice your yogic gaze, eyes half open, half closed. And balance in between those 3 points in your feet. Inhale, come up halfway and stretch your arms straight back. If you chose to on the other side. Feeling the strength in your triceps, the backs of your shoulders. Press into your legs for 3, 2, 1. Now hands on the hips, reach the buttock down into the heel to upright yourself. And turn to face forward again. Turn your front foot out and step up to the top of your mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. And as you exhale, step back. Now come to lie onto your belly. And either clasp your hands behind your back or use a strap or a towel if your shoulders are tighter. I'm gonna mime like I'm using the strap or towel. Lift the legs up an inch, reach your heart, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Really feel the backs of the shoulders. Squeeze to open up the front of the chest. And release. Good job. Come into child's pose. If child's pose ever hurts your knees, you can always just lie on your back and hug your knees to your chest. Now upright yourself, and we're gonna practice a seated twist. So just sweep your feet over to the right with your knees pointing forward and twist open to your left. Eyes soft, half open, taking in the full 180 degrees. Even though the eyes are open, there's an inward focus. Release. Now take your legs out in front of you and over to the other side and twist. Release that and lie down for Shavasana. Another suggestion, if you have lower back issues, it can feel nice in Shavasana just to keep your knees bent and your feet down on the ground. Take a slow breath in to fill up the lungs. And let it out. And just practice letting go now. Imagine you're on a beautiful sunny beach with waves rolling in and out. Easy to do, right? Feel the breath like it's rolling down past your body and away from you as you exhale, carrying with it any tension or strain. And as you breathe in, like a wave rolling up from your feet towards your head to fill the body with fresh energy, heat, and light. Exhaling and surrendering what you're holding on to. To make space as you breathe in again. Tend to get clouded with resentment and different forms of fear that really stifle the flow of prana or life force energy. So if something comes to mind that you need to release or forgive, or maybe a wrong that you need to make right, if that comes to mind, it's a good idea to do that as soon as possible. I don't want to tell you how to live your life or anything, but it could help. Bend your knees and roll over. Then press yourself up to seated. Bring the palms together. Thank you. Namaste. Hey, I want to thank you again for joining me in this challenge. I think you're committed now because you watched this one. And if you did, let me know how the hamstring stretching went for you today, how it felt with the balance and the drishti. And also comment, I'm still with you on day 2. It's the hardest thing just to get to day 2, I think, for most people. And lastly, if you didn't sign up for the challenge yesterday, please make sure to do that today. You got to click the link below and get signed up so you don't miss out on what's going on. All right. Have a great rest of your day.